Hello and welcome. My name is Andy Felton. I'm here to share a bit with you about my recent trip that I had to India. This past winter and fall, I was actually enrolled in a women's studies course that was all about social justice concerns that are ongoing in India. And so to give ourselves a better understanding and perspective on the situations that are going on there, we were able to immerse ourselves a bit into the culture for a couple of weeks and just get connected with the community, get connected with some of the resources, and just understand more of what's actually going on in India. So I wanted to share some of my pictures with you and just try to give you a better understanding of what my experience was like and what are some of the ongoing concerns in India. So I hope you enjoy. And so in order to help give you a better understanding of what's actually happening in India, I wanted to try to capture some of the main points, which is just some of the influences through the architecture, through the food, but then also give you a better understanding of the people that we met and the real reason why we were there, which was to try to get an understanding of the needs that are there, as well as just to hear the stories of the people that are with us. And so just to begin, I just wanted to share some images of the architecture and the way that you can see some of these Persian influences that have come through. However, the country has learned to adapt, or not really adapt, but adopt some of the Western influence as well, and the way that that's taken place over time. And it seems like the people of India have learned to integrate the two in a lot of ways, and really kind of embrace that as being part of their history and their culture, and just the fact that they're saying, you know, what we're being shaped by the world around us as well as the world within us, and that they are trying to just do what they can to move forward. Another big influence in most cultures is religion, and there are just a wide diversity of religions in India, and some of the major ones, you know, including Muslim and Hindu, and then Christianity and Sikhs. And it's the thing that really stands out to me about these different religions is that it seems like there's been a way to accept and tolerate. However, there is still this turmoil that happens between all of them, and it's a matter of trying to figure that out. Another big cultural influence is food. And we had the pleasure of really tasting some of the best food I think I've ever had. And this is an image of a number of just the different types of lentils you can find in coconuts. And here we have a man working on the street cooking this delicious breakfast food. And just, I think, you know, food allows you to really get a, well, no pun intended, but a sense of flavor of what the culture is like. And the amazing thing is that each region is also very different in the types of food that they have, and what they include in their diet. And so again, it's hard to be able to clump what the Indian experience is like and what Indian culture is like, even through food, just because it is so diverse within the country itself. And all of it just seems so delicious. And another thing that for me personally was hard to get used to was the amount of hospitality that was there. Always we had these big elaborate meals, and people would serve us and make sure that we were full before they would even eat for themselves. And so again, it was delicious food. However, it was kind of difficult to experience that amount of hospitality, and the fact that they would put us before themselves all the time. One of the main reasons why we went to India, which I believe to be one of the most rewarding, was to be their support and gain some more insight on the RT home and what they're doing there for the children. And so while there, we had the opportunity to meet a number of all of the children that are attending school there, as well that are living in the orphanage. The RT home has really become a part of the community, which brings everybody in together and becomes a sense of family for all of these children and for the whole community, rather than it just being some sort of agency that's in place. And so we had the privilege of actually raising money to give back to the RT home, and make a donation, which is then going towards the school, as well as the future for the RT village, which I'll explain more in a second. And so here we had the opportunity to simply walk around the school and understand more about how the kids are learning and what they're learning. And the kids were here learning the alphabet, and they also gave presentations on AIDS and pollution in airplanes. And so just to show how well-rounded the education is that they're also getting, but it's still looking at the number of challenges that the school is facing and that these children are facing. And here they're putting on a performance for us to help just show their appreciation for us being there, saying thank you, as well as to help give us an understanding about what's important to them and the education that they're receiving. So as I mentioned previously, Sandhya, who is the founder of the RT Home, is really working towards developing the RT Village, which will become the future home for these kids, and then the opportunity to have school elsewhere, so that way it becomes a real sense of family, where they can move to the school and then come home. And so this will be the grounds for the RT Village, which will be a home for 100 kids, which will include a crisis center, the playground, just anything that you think that you would need and want for these children who have been abandoned by their families. Another way to really get immersed in the culture is to see the world around you and go beyond the cities and the sites and the tours. And so we had the opportunity to visit a small village, which was where saris were made. And we were actually invited into the homes where they do the work. And so here you can see one of the weavers here, which is actually just in the home. So they're working out of their homes all the time. And this was hard to see and take in because these people are working in areas that are not, they don't have a lot of money, and they are just trying to do what they can to survive, and are producing products that they'll never get to purchase and never have the luxury of owning, and yet we are able to come in and take such advantage of that, and it's hard to see that going on. And this is also another local school, and you can just see the limited space that they have and resources that they have, and I think it's just so important to value education and try to give people the opportunity to become educated and move forward and allow people to reach their full potential. And then just in the area you can see how it was so poverty stricken, but then nearby there's just this beauty in the surrounding country, and I just wanted to take the opportunity to share some of that as well. And one of the things that really stands out to me is that people really seem to enjoy their lives no matter where they're at. It seems like their perspective on what's important to them is just very different than what's oftentimes found in Western society. After visiting some of the villages, we had the opportunity to attend the university and gain some insight on the history of India and the experiences and the struggles that people have gone through, and particularly the women of India and what they're doing to move forward. Which just it's kind of amazing to hear about the progression that has occurred and the ongoing battles. However, there still seems to be a lot of work done, and there still seems to be a lot of parallels that are going on within the U.S. as well as in India. And after learning a bit more about the history and the development of women's movements, we had the opportunity to also visit some of the organizations that are working to support women and other marginalized groups, Kriya being one of those groups, or one of those organizations that really is trying to reach out to women that have been involved in sex trafficking, that are disabled, and giving them some sex education and making them aware that you can have this power, and they're trying to just empower the groups that are overlooked. And another one was the Love Commandos, which reaches out to allow people to marry for love rather than for arranged marriage or because caste or society tells you so, but just really trying to find a way to develop those relationships and support those relationships for those that are just simply in love with one another. And I wanted to end with one of these images, again, just to kind of capture the amount of diversity that happens within one country, and I think it's important to recognize that happens, and that we can't clump India as this one whole country, because there is so much diversity that's going on within it. And so I just wanted to end with this image, which was the Taj Mahal, obviously, and it's just a beautiful image. And I really hope that you enjoyed and were able to get a little bit of the experience of what it was like to be in India. So thank you.